Have you seen Tommy?
You must be Tommy.
Tom? 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 Tom?
You must be Tommy.
He's a peeping Tom.
You must be Tommy.
So, go on. Can you see them good? So,
Tommy.
So can you just shut up, Tommy?
how am I going to generate that kind of power?
Tom?
You must be Tommy.
So can you just shut up, Tommy?
Tommy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to No Apologies, episode 20. What's the title of this episode, guys?
It is the Holy Inquisition of the Space Pope.
I mean, yes, it is that, but I actually gave it a title. The
Oh,
title
did you
is...
really?
Yeah, the title is...
That would be episode 20. The quartering owes us 90K.
That's correct. The quartering does, in fact, owe us 90K. Now, we were going to do a little news beforehand, maybe a little topical stuff, but tonight is actually going to be a shorter episode of No Apologies because your hosts have very early days tomorrow. So we're just going to jump right into it. Oh, fuck, that's what I need to do. Fuck me. All right, I can do that.
You need to jump right in and get fucked.
No, well, fuck, how am I going to do this? Oh, I know how I'm going to do this. I'll just import, yeah, I fucked up again, okay? I fucked up again. It happens. Guys, I sent you an email with the Hangout link in it tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, whoops. Now, if you look in that email, there is some stuff that you're not going to read live because it is sensitive material.
Mhm.
But I want you to look at the website of the CPA. Don't read it. Just look at the website and tell me if you have any reason to believe that that is not my CPA.
No, that is your CPA.
That's
Like-
it is.
That is confirmed. Like, that is so obviously my CPA that, yeah, right. Okay. Now I also sent, there are two images in there. The year that I made 90K, and it actually might be 100K, the year, and we'll see why in a second, it went from May to June. The contract that I had went from May to June. So what you're going to see, oh my goodness, there's someone speaking German in the chat, I think.
Jawohl!
There is,
Guten Abend, mein Herren.
if you look at the images there, one of them is a W-2 that goes from January to June. That's the second half of my contract. What is that 50% of?
That's only 50% of your earnings.
Right, but if that's 50% of the contract, because it goes from January to June, and the contract started May, So the other half is May to December. What is that? What is that?
Before or after taxes?
Well, before. What is that number half of? I think you're overcomplicating it in your head.
100.
There you go. That's right. So we're gonna talk about this little beef that I have with a man named the Quartering. Now I'm gonna tell you.
Wait. You made 100K that year,
Yeah.
and you still dress like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, dude. I don't. Clothes are things that I don't care about. Like I don't. You know what I mean? I own a bunch of suits.
Bravo.
I own a bunch of suits, but I only wear them if you pay me to. Like I don't like that shit. So the Quartering is a YouTuber who a little while ago he had some scandal where he plays Magic the Gathering and he does card openings and all that shit. Relatively innocuous. If you like Magic, I played Magic a long time ago. It was fun. I had a good time.
Sorry, card openings?
Like he'll buy a case of Magic cards and he'll open them on camera. Like that's the show that he does.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then he'll talk about, like, you know, people that get really into that shit. It's all competitive, and they like each card means something to them, and like they can tell you, you know, like this is a good card, this is a bad card, whatever. Fucking, I think that's innocuous. I see no issue with it. Have fun. But he got banned.
I'm a 7-foot tall fucking lizard. I can't judge on that. Y'all, whatever blows your skirt up. Good for you.
Exactly. He got banned from Magic the Gathering for life because he made fun of a cosplayer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was like an organization that had the authority.
Well, Wizards of the Coast hosts competitive Magic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he got, and like, honestly, like that's, to me, that's bullshit. Not only did they ban him for life, but they took all his shit because they do it online too. So they took all his shit. And by the way, before I get any further, we got Canales. We got Canales in chat. Canales, how you doing?
Hi, Canales.
So this guy got banned for life, and then shortly after that, now this brings up a question in my head, and we'll get to that question. He discovered that a significant number of the judges in the judging organization, which is separate from Wizards of the Coast, are, can you guess what they are?
Employees of Wizards of the Coast, or
No,
somehow related to them?
It's a vendor. It's a vendor with that contracts with Wizards of the Coast. But even there's something sinister about them. They're convicted pedophiles.
Oh, what?
Whoa!
So this guy, this guy discovered a pedophile ring within the judges organization that services Wizards of the Coast, and they went after him to try and silence it.
No shit.
Yeah, and you know who owns Wizards of the Coast?
Pedophile?
Well, that may actually turn out to be the truth. Canales asks if faggots own Wizards of the Coast. Possibly. I can't say whether or not that's true. I don't know. But Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast. So I hypothesize that there are pedophiles within. This is a hypothesis. This is an allegation. I hypothesize that there are pedophiles within their C-suite that are taking part of covering this up. Because why else would you cover that up?
I mean, let's look at the other big corporation that had pedophile rings. That would unfortunately be the Catholic Church. Why did they cover it up? Well, there were two reasons. One, you need to face, although it did nothing of the sort. No, I mean, it backfired horribly. But the other reason is you're also getting your little kid sex on, which
That's
is a
right.
phrase I never want to use again.
So, where the fuck? Put my smokes all the way over there. So, you know, this guy, as far as his card videos, you know, I might watch one on a lark because I don't play. I haven't played Magic the Gathering since I was a kid. But his work exposing the rampant fucking pedophilia problem attached to Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast is top-notch work. I think it's great. And I do have a concern, though. I do have a question. Did he know about this before he got banned and sit on it until he wanted revenge?
Oh.
That is my question. I'm not saying that happened. That's a question I want, because it decides what the content of his character is. You know, is this something
I would like to believe, as a 7-foot-tall lizard, sometimes who masquerades as a human being, that he found out afterwards, as he was trying to put together a case to he was certainly, perhaps, I don't want to speak because I don't know the man, but if he's going after Wizard of the Coast because they banned him for what he thought were completely frivolous reasons, and then he discovers it, that's the story I want to believe. And I would love for him to respond and be like, yes, that's what happened. Jesus.
Yeah, sure. I'm in the same camp as you, Space Pope, but I thought of the question, and I think I saw someone bring it up a while ago, and it didn't really stick in my brain, but it came back. So I'm curious, is that the case? Did that happen? Now we're gonna go through the exchange that I had, because the quartering, there's been another big doxing drama, and involving Andy Worski and this guy Baked Alaska. We're not going to get into that. But the quartering was saying doxing's no big deal, right? Most people don't have to worry about doxing. Now, the three of us use avatars because we do have to worry about doxing. That maybe we'd be okay, but I don't know that I'd be okay. I know
you would not be okay. No,
right.
You would not.
Okay. You maybe, I don't know. I can't say that either of you would be okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, let's look at it this way. Doxing is about removing the veil of privacy. And there is a certain amount of privacy that we would expect between human beings.
Its purpose is to harm.
You can't just go rifling around someone's life.
All right. Oh, Bruni says, if Beetlejuice rules are in play, race Worski, race Worski, race Worski. That's Andy Worski's code name. He's trying to summon Andy Worski to this. If Andy Worski wants to come on, great. I have no reason to chase after him. I like his show, though. All right, so I'm throwing up on the screen, which I will have to read to you guys. Oh, fuck me. I'm such an idiot sometimes. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Of course I can't read it. Of course I can't read it. Oh, here we... fuck. You guys talk first. Fuck, how am I going to do this? How am I going to... Oh, I know how I can do this. I know how I can
carefully.
I know how I can do this. I have a workaround. We'll go in here, and we'll do a little bit of this, and we'll do... tweet number 1. This is where it all started. Someone said something about doxing being. Oh, here we go. He's saying, doxing is no big deal. My interjection into this is getting doxed would cost a lot of people their livelihood. They lose their livelihood, they lose their home. They lose their home, they lose their lives. Are you on the spectrum? This isn't a rhetorical question. His response is no.
Of course.
His response is, no, it wouldn't. Real-life jobs don't give two fucking shits about what people tweet. This shit is a virtue signal. My response to that is, how much money are you willing to bet on that? Okay, so there's the challenge. All I have to do is find you one person fired for a tweet. There's the parameter. Now I've offered the parameter. So how much do you want to put on that? Do we recognize the challenge that I have levied and the parameters that I have offered?
As the most high inquisitor of Space Popery, this is a fair challenge. The parameters are clear.
So we could say that at Inquisition...
I wouldn't take this fucking bet.
Nope.
Are you fucking crazy?
If anybody ever says to you, all I have to do is find one of this instance, you walk away.
You can find a homeless man with a bird cage up his ass and a mouthful of gold teeth that punches zebras in the zoo, but you only need to find one. You can find that guy. Finding one is not a needle in a haystack. You look for the guy who walks funny, who's got zebra blood on his hands.
So has the Inquisition been launched, Space Pope?
We are in the very early settings here. I as Inquisitor General am listening to your complaints here. I'm very close to just saying, all right, let's do it. What was this gentleman's response?
Well, let's move on. His response was more than you make in a year. Now, this is where I started to get a little pissed off. Do you understand why this started to make me a little pissed off?
It sounds a little belittling.
It's classist as fuck.
Yeah. This guy has a
I've
problem.
got so much money and you don't. Well,
You
not,
don't
not
make
for
any.
long, motherfucker.
This guy has a problem with condescension. He has a problem with talking down to people. He has a problem with thinking he's the smartest guy in the room when maybe he isn't. He just might be the guy with the biggest mouth. So his response is more than you make in a year. Well, my response is, do you want to do it for the year I made over 90K? And then I tweeted him an article listing 11 people fired for tweets. Have I met the conditions of the bet, Space Pope?
You know, if he just kept his goddamn mouth shut for like 2 more seconds. Yeah, we're okay. We're launching an mission here. God damn it! I had shit to do tonight, but we're okay. Let's do this.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get. Hold on. I gotta get my Inquisition hat. Hold on.
Very good. Very good.
Now, what's beautiful about this too is that you didn't just find one; you found 11. Is that correct?
That is correct. That's my style. I over-deliver when this sort of stuff is on the line. And here's the thing: I'm not much of a gambler. I make jokes about gambling on Twitter all the time, but I probably I've maybe sat in maybe a dozen $20 buy-in Texas Hold'em games. I've maybe bought 20 lottery tickets in my entire life. I've never been to a casino. I don't gamble. But when I make a bet knowing I'm going to win it.
I've got my Inquisition hat on.
I've probably made a good handful of sports bets for like $20, you know, like on who's going to win this fight or who's going to win this Super Bowl or whatever. But that's really just for fun.
I personally make $2 bill bets.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm totally not. Gambling isn't a thing that I'm ever going to get caught up in because I just don't want to do it. So we have fulfilled our terms. Now let's move on. And I'm just going to catch up with myself. Oh, this is different. We're going to come back to this. We're going to come back to this. We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that. We're going to... Oh, man, this shit's all out of order. We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that. There we go. All right, so that is... I don't know which one that is. That might be number 7. Nope. Maybe number 8. Sorry, guys. I have some slides, everyone listening. I have slides for this presentation. Because when I fucking prove someone wrong, I prove them wrong. It's why people get mad when they argue with me, because they don't like admitting that they're wrong, and I prove people wrong, like, for real. All right. So my question is, would you like to do it for the year that I made 90K? Now let's go back. How much did it seem like I might have actually made in that year?
Potentially 100.
To 100.
Yeah. Okay. His response is, happy to do it. Take your 90K and put it up against the tens of thousands of people that work factory job who got fired over tweets. My response is,
Lol.
That wasn't the deal. This was the deal. You don't change the terms after you accept the bet and lose, right? We're gonna keep going because there's more to say about that, but we'll get back to that. We'll skip that. Oh, right. Maybe we'll do so. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I'm skipping a couple. They're easy to find just for the sake of brevity. Oh, wait.
Well, if there's one thing I like in an Inquisition, it's brevity.
We're Fuck, what am I doing? Ah, there we go.
While you're working,
No, I'm here.
If you have it, okay.
All right. The quartering's problem is that he thinks he's the smartest guy in every room he walks into, thus the constant exasperated sighing and incredulity that anyone would disagree with him on anything. He wrote a $90K check that his ass doesn't have the honor to cash. His response is, my dude, I hate it when people say that, you know for a fact my whole argument was it affects a tiny amount of people. I never once made the argument that nobody was fired, and you know that. You're relying on me not drunkenly reading your tweet 100%. Now, let me ask you something. Does being drunk get you out of a debt in Vegas?
Gets you out of marriage.
Does it?
No, it does not.
Yeah.
Marriage,
I
sorry.
believe you have to be rather sober. Never mind. Ignore me. Maybe not. Maybe not.
It does not get, dude, it does. They fucking serve you free drinks in Vegas to get you drunk.
Yeah, they do.
My response to that is, you might want to reread the terms that you agreed to, homie. I specifically stated that all I had to do was find one. You named the terms. I got you 11. You moved the goalposts after you lost. Now, he then responds, okay, send over proof of income. I said, you got it. I've already emailed my accountant to send me returns for the year that I made 90. And let's see. Okay, so then our friend Tonkasaw, well, he's not really our friend. The man Tonkasaw, who runs the Kumite, I said, hey, you want to chime in here? And he, in fact, did. He told the quartering that he needs a humble mouth. And the quartering says, if you read the context of what I said, my dude, I'm right for the overwhelming majority of people getting doxxed is no big deal. People trying to spend this into me saying getting doxxed is okay I didn't say that. Tonka's reply is, then do not place a bet that if someone can prove you wrong, then you will pay them more than they make in a year. You would think someone who moans about what people say all the time would understand the weight of their words. You made the bet. Sack up and pay your debt. His response is, Tonka, for fuck's sake, why are you so disingenuous? I will stand by my bet that yes, being doxxed for the overwhelming majority of people is not a big deal. Can you prove me wrong, or would you like to back his bet? Show me where I said I supported it. Now, guys, what was the bet again?
That you could find just one person who lost their job due to doxing.
Is being drunk an excuse? Is being drunk an excuse for taking a bet that you have lost?
It's not an excuse.
Correct.
However, as the Inquisitor General here, an act of submission, an act of piety, a truly surreal and amusing act like eating a bowl of fried giraffe assholes whilst on camera, or Lucky Charms. I can't stand the taste of Lucky Charms, but either one, well, I think we perhaps have passed that situation, which is very unfortunate. Because does he become I don't know, does he respond like, yeah, dude, you're right, my bad? Because knowing you, you'd razz him about it, but I don't think you'd go right for the jugular.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. Canales in chat says, yep, I like the quartering myself, but a bet's a bet. So Spain, we have Basque country on our side. Tonka's reply is, you said you would pay him more than he makes in a year if he proved employers would fire people over tweets. He did that. Stop crying because you made a dumb bet in public and were shown to be a buffoon. Be a man. Pay what you owe. So now, we'll take the tweets off. Last night, I knew that he was going to be going by the Kumite, so I went by the Kumite myself, and I tweeted the host of the Kumite failure to let him know he might be interested in bringing that up when the quartering comes on. So I have that standing by. We're going to play that. We're going to play the audio of the appearance, and we're going to talk about it.
Oh wait, what's this about that you owe somebody $90,000 now?
Yeah.
There you go. You hear that fucking laugh? You hear that fucking condescending laugh?
He does. He sounds like that's either a man who doesn't realize he's lost a bet badly, or it's the sound of a man going, "Oh fuck, I might owe someone 90 grand. Ah shit."
He was not expecting it. I know that much.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Midnight always has a plan, guys. Midnight always has a plan. Oh, we got some chat activity. Canala says, we're mighty gamblers up here, mind you. Are there a lot of gamblers in Spain? Is that a thing? Well, let's keep rolling.
I have no idea.
You guys,
big Spainers, if you know what I mean.
You guys do hear this audio,
Fucking-
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Tommy, take a lap.
I'm gonna roll a little bit more, make sure that it's actually going over the stream. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, I do. The checks he's gonna mail me. His accountant is going to mail me his tax return from the one time he made $90,000 or something like that.
All right, now we have two things to talk about. Did I say that my accountant was gonna send him any info?
No, and that was also not per terms of the agreement that you had made with him.
What I said was
that is all
my
you have to do
accountant.
is send him the information.
Well, no.
If
That's
you want that information from your accountant.
No, I understand him.
different thing.
I understand him wanting it verified. I understand that. That makes sense. But I never said that my accountant was sending him info. Let's.
You were just checking with him.
I told him that I emailed my accountant to get the info, and let's back that up a little. Ooh, what the fuck? Fuck you. There we go. All right, let's back that up a little. Da 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 da. You got it. I've already emailed my accountant to send me my returns for the year I made 90. Now, he seems to think that it's like the idea that I would have an accountant is humorous. Guys, do I have an accountant?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Do you have any reason to doubt that that accountant is my accountant?
No.
Okay. And then the 1 year he made 90. Actually, it's probably the 1 year I made 100. Dude. Guys, have I confirmed the amount that I made that year? As far as your and everybody listening, these are my co-hosts. So if you want to say these guys could be lying or could be biased, that's okay with me. They are also the only two people on the internet that I would trust with this info because I know where they live and I was just over Tommy's house. Like, so this whole idea, he has this idea like this guy couldn't possibly make this money or something like that. But guys, have I confirmed the amount that I made that year?
Yes.
Have I confirmed that there is an accountant that can verify the amount that I made that year?
Yes.
Okay.
Listen, the accountant isn't the thing that verifies it. It's the U.S. fucking government.
Well,
that's,
right,
yes, your accountant, absolutely. But if you'd claimed $1 gajillion or some ridiculous thing, the government would shove its fist so far up your ass if you were that wrong.
Well,
so like, yes, your accountant, 100%, but also the federal fucking government, and not one of those elected branches either, full of the office bureaucrat drones who get things right and don't have been socialized as far as no.
What I'm reaching at is he was definitely laughing at the idea that I had an accountant. That's what he was like, oh, this guy's talking like internet tough. No, dude, I have a fucking accountant. I don't like doing my taxes, so I have the resources to have an accountant. So I have an accountant. That way I don't have to do my own fucking taxes. It's very simple. All right, let's move on.
And then I have to pay him that. Just fine. Checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail.
Did he just say checks in the mail?
Checks in the mail.
All right.
All right.
You can't
Shall we
make
just camp
bets
out
if
by
you
your
ain't gonna
mailbox?
back them.
Did you hear that?
No.
All right, let's back it up.
Yeah, back it up.
Just fine. Checks in the mail.
All right.
You can't make bets if you ain't gonna back them.
Yeah, I do back. The thing is, though.
I do back. The thing is, though, now we're gonna fucking change things up, right? Now we're gonna change things up. And this is the fucking problem with this guy. He's kind of weaselly. Like, I hate it because I really like the stuff that he did with Wizards of the Coast and fucking exposing a pedo ring because I fucking hate pedos. But, dude, he's being a
like
weasel right
this
now.
guy is like the worst guy in the world, and you're like, I'm so happy to be taking his money.
Yeah. Let's continue.
I do back what I said. What I didn't
I do back what I said.
But
notice in his reply to me was that if I can find one example, because if you read the thread before that, I was never saying.
What I didn't notice was that I can find one example. Too fucking bad for you, man. Think about what you say. Think about the way you fucking go at people and act like you're better than them.
Also, can we go back to the source, the original tweet? Because he never says like the majority of Americans. He just says in general, doxing does not harm anyone or something, right?
No, he does go in that direction, but that's
Does
not the
he?
bet
Okay.
that's not the bet that I made, and we'll come back to that in a second.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Don't make sure we come back to that. We'll come back to it when we're done with the roll.
Make a note
It
of
doesn't
yeah.
happen, right? Like, I probably shouldn't have commented on doxing at all because people are really sensitive about it. But the
Playing
point I was
victim.
trying to make, drunkenly and poorly, was simply
Drunkenly and poorly, making excuses.
that people aren't showing up at your house. Yes, stupid shit can happen. That wasn't my point, but that's
People aren't showing up at your house.
Swatting?
That has actually happened. People have showed up at people's houses. That has actually happened. And yes,
I live as essentially a troll under a rock. This internet thing frightens and disturbs me. However, I am aware that doxing is a form of doxing is swatting. This recently in the news.
it's a result
Someone died from this.
It's a result of doxing, but doxing is used to do it. Yes. Let's continue with the roll. We'll try to get through this roll as quickly as possible because who wants to fucking listen to roll?
all people heard. And so I was going back and forth with that dude, and he's in my feed all the time. Like, I'm pretty sure he's just, he's just giving me a hard time. But
So I comment on his tweets every now and again because I started following because of his work on the pedo scandal, and I support everyone who decides to destroy pedos, at least in that venture. I also support the Quartering's desire to destroy pedos. I hope to see every fucking pedo hung by the neck until they're dead, by legal means, of course. So sometimes he says shit like this, and I break his balls about. Like he talks like he knows everything, and I disagree with him, and I break his balls about it. Sometimes he's right, sometimes I'm right. Let's continue.
I never said it never happened, and his was like, well, I'll have to just find one example.
He never said it never happened, but he recognized before he took the bet that I said I just need to find one example.
That's not the point I made ever. So
This isn't about whether or not that's the point you made. This is about the bet you took.
it's not really a genuine thing, I don't think.
It's not really a genuine thing.
I stand by my bets until I decide that they're not genuine.
Exactly. It's not. It's not genuine because he lost the bet. That's why it's not genuine. Let's continue with this roll.
He could get me on an accidental misread of his tweet, sure.
He's saying bull.
So he's saying I could get him on an accidental misread of his tweet. No, I can get you on taking the bet. That's what I'm getting on. I get you on taking the bet.
Meet in the middle.
You said, show me one and I'll pay you, fuck off.
All right, so failure. I don't know why the fuck failure said that. He's saying that he said, show me one and I'll pay you, fuck off. I actually didn't say that to failure. Someone else might have said that to failure. He did not say, show me one. I said, all I have to do is show you one, and then he took the bet. So let's be clear about that.
And
Is that what I said? Show me that tweet. Did I say that?
Let me see.
I
I'm gonna look.
said that in not so many words.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I was getting pretty drunk by the end of the night there.
That's
you guys
the
were
thing.
screaming for fucking so long.
See, you got Tonka jumping and being like, hey, he fucking won the bet. And now he's like, oh, well, I was getting pretty drunk. Dude, yeah, people do lots of stupid shit when they're drunk. You don't get out of it.
It's not an excuse, but it's a reason.
Exactly. It's a reason. That's why it happened.
Yeah. I really don't think I said show me one example.
No, he did
He
not.
keeps saying I said that, but
He took the bet for it, but he didn't say
I'm
it.
almost certain.
What would be the ruling for how he could collect on the bet?
Let's see. Well,
fucking computer. My computer's getting a little bit slow right now. So if you're listening, what Tonka just said is, what could he do to collect on the bet? So now, although I won the bet, we're introducing new parameters after the fact, and let's take a look. What are those parameters, guys? What are those parameters?
He would have to disprove my point that being doxxed is not a big deal for the overwhelming majority of people.
He would have to disprove my point that being doxxed is not a problem for the overwhelming majority of people.
That's the entire point I kept making, and he was arguing with me, strawmanning me, saying like, "But dude, people get swatted." Yeah, that's not what I said. I said the overwhelming majority of people. You go talk to the construction foreman on the fucking construction site where they're laying bricks. You tell some employee, like, he tweeted some.
Now, he seems to think everybody who doesn't do what he does for a living does construction. There aren't that many, like, relative to the rest of the population, there aren't that many construction workers. And construction workers probably are immune to this stuff. But the thing is,
No, sorry.
No, you don't think so?
No, because what we're really talking about here, at the heart of it, is if you are a teacher, say, and you work in your school and you collect whatever government pittance they give teachers, and you work a side gig, or you've done porn ever, or whatever, that will cost you your job.
Well, he's only talking about construction right now. We're only talking about construction right now.
Right, but if the guy you're working with is, or the gal you're working with or whatever, if they have a part of their life that they have worked very hard to keep secret and it is revealed against their wishes, that is deeply fucked up. Will it make them lose their jobs in construction? I don't know. Probably not. Does it have the potential to really ruin relationships? Absolutely.
Here's why I'll concede construction. Because, like, I know a lot of felons who work in construction. Like, if you're a felon, you can get work in construction. That's okay. So I'll concede construction to him, but that's not the majority of Americans. Let's finish.
Nazi swastikas on Twitter. He's not going to give a shit about that. I'm not saying nobody ever will. I'm just saying that's all my point was. I wasn't trying to shit on Andy. I felt bad for him. I called him. I told him to call his local PD and tell him, hey, in case this that's what happened, what I did, and I live in a small town, but they knew. Like, they knew all the terminology. And I was like, look, I don't know. In case somebody calls and says something's crazy going on in my house, it's probably not, come check on me, but please, no bully. Don't send everybody. So that, I think maybe he was getting defensive over Andy. I'm not sure, but that wasn't my intention.
Apparently, you took Bunty King to the limit because he.
All right,
he had
so
to say,
now
have to
we've changed the topic, so we'll end this. And Bunty King, you guys remember Bunty King?
Oh yeah, Bunty was great.
He went at him not over the bet. He had his own response. He went, whoa, what is it? Wait a second, you speak Basque?
No, not at all. I have a couple books on it as a language isolate. It's fucking fascinating.
Yeah. I heard that it's like ridiculously. So I actually looked up. I actually did a Google search for Basque woman because I wanted to see some titties, and I ended up in a thread talking about like how it's almost impossible to get laid in Basque country.
Yeah, because you're not one of them. I mean, the Basque country, as I understand it, these folks have been fighting for their own, not just independence, but like social acceptance, because they spoke a language that no one on earth is related to.
Well, even for
and
Basque
they do it
dudes,
the wrong way. And
and I'd be willing to bet that it's easier to get laid if you're not Basque than if you are Basque, because chicks respond to novelty. I mean, dudes do as well, but novelty is an attractor. Okay, so what he said was, I have to prove that the majority of working Americans could be negatively affected by doxing. So what I did was I went and I looked up, just as a lark, I just decided to do this. How many Americans are employed in the U.S.?
What's our current population? 350 million, give or take?
I'll buy that, sure.
So you got to figure, 0 to 18. I know, yes, there's people who work before they're 18 legally, but they're a fraction of the percentage. I don't know, like, I wouldn't say more than 40% of the total, probably something around 80 to 90% of the possible workforce, which of course is a smaller number.
As of this month, 126.42 million. So I got that number. See those numbers? Those numbers are all available now. When someone has a challenge to levy like that, you can actually look that shit up. So if we want a majority, we can split that in half and go a little higher. We've got 64 million. 64 million workers. And then I did this crazy thing, and I went to a site and I got a listing of the top 100 populated jobs.
The jobs that hold the biggest percentage of the total people employed.
Not percent. Well, I mean, it could be percent. You could call it a percentage, but they went by actual number.
So it's not like best jobs to have. It's like 40% of people do, or whatever number it is. But these people do this job. This number of people does this job.
So before the stream, I went. This is the top 100. Before the stream, I went and I went through the top. I actually did 26 because I, for some reason, listed that. I thought I did 25, but I did 26. And so, like, the top ones are like retail sales. They're gonna have to worry about it. Cashiers, yup. Office clerks, yup. And I knocked out. Oh, I see why I did 26 because I didn't have a number for number 5. So I actually did 25, but I got a number 5 is RNs. I gotta get a number for that. I knocked out like Teamsters. I knocked out truck drivers. I think I knocked out diesel mechanics. And so far, the number that we have just in the top 25, can we guess what that number is?
So the goal is to hit 64 million, right?
That is correct.
And just in the top 25 out of the top 100, 25 million.
Spaceboat?
31 million.
It is 37,738,040.
Uh-oh.
So we're at 37,025,000 in. I have 75 more to tabulate.
So we're already at over 25%.
We're at over half, homie.
Oh, sorry. Over 25% of the overall working.
Yes, you are correct.
Yes. Or over a half of a half.
That is correct.
I love watching you do fractions in your head. It's like a child finding himself. Just, oh shit. Proud of you.
So how do we
don't tell you enough.
I'm proud too.
How do we think this is gonna turn out, guys? Am I gonna hit our 64?
I think it's very plausible. If not plausible, probable.
You are, of course, documenting and citing all this evidence, correct?
Oh yeah, it's not hard.
Okay,
it's all.
No, I'm glad it's easy.
Yeah, all the data's there.
Shit, dude. Like, speaking as the Inquisitor General, you won the first bet. And then I was drunk, I misread, da-da-da-da-da. And now he laid out a new bet because he can't help himself.
This isn't a new bet. I won the bet. I'm just eradicating his retreat.
Well, I mean, if he was also agreeing to you disproving what he initially said, that's what he's saying he thought.
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you're doing.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. So guys, what are we gonna do with $100,000? What are we gonna do with that?
Space cocaine and space hookers?
my
Get
God.
Space Pope a microphone.
Holy shit.
Headset.
Those both sound almost as good as one another.
Hey, out of curiosity, Space Pope, do you have something else going on for your like internet connection today?
Yes, I do.
It's wonderful, is
Yeah.
all I have to say.
It's really good.
I will explain why off air.
Cool, understood.
Have you guys seen the OBS layout that I did for tonight, by the way?
Is this
Yes,
the Raging Bull?
it's delightful.
What is this?
The boxer is Muhammad Ali,
Oh shit!
and then I just made the other guys. You like that?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, right?
I want to think of myself as Earl Hebner.
This is not a second round knockout. This is a first round knockout. And the guy demanded the judges let him back in. And you know what? I'm going to knock him out again. Only it's just going to take me till the third round.
So let's be serious, and because this is a serious thing. Of course, I've got my Inquisition hat. I've got my Inquisition socks. I've got my Inquisition specific underpants. Oh, Canales, good night, sir. I wish I could remember the phrase for good night in Euskera, but I can't. So farewell, sleep well.
Good night, Canales. Thank you very much for coming by, man. It's always good to see you. So you were saying your underwear, your Space Pope hat?
My Space Pope hat. I'm ready to do this. $90,000 is a lot of money. It's a lot. It's a lot of money, and if you say it's not a lot of money, please let me spend some of your money because clearly you don't care about it. Because I want to be an arbitrator. I want to be the nice guy. Would you like it in cash? A check?
Venmo? Do you Venmo?
Do you want him to Venmo you $90,000?
What's Venmo?
Or bravo.
Gabon, Canales. We learned how
Gabon.
to say. Well, I mean, we have a business PayPal account.
Oh, I guess that would be the proper channels.
Yeah, we have a business PayPal account. He can drop that right the fuck in there.
So Streamlabs.
No, he can do it straight to our business PayPal account.
No. I just several increments on Streamlabs.
No, we're not playing that game. Yeah, quartering. You can drop that money right in my business PayPal. You can contact me via DM to be a man and admit that you lost the bet, and keep your bet. Now, do you know why he's?
Or the saddest thing is also, or just admit you're not a man of your word.
I mean, that's what we're. See, there's the rub. There's the rub.
Jeez,
is he or is he not a man of his word? This is very much what this is about. This is a guy who talks down to people, but turns out to not be a man of his word. And the reason why he's laughing at this amount, do you know why the reason why he's laughing at this amount?
Because nothing is serious to such a person. I couldn't begin to speculate.
My guess is he probably doesn't have $90K to throw away.
Which is perfectly reasonable.
I would say the average American lands in that. I would say more than the average American falls
and of course,
into that category.
I'm not judging anyone for not having $90K to throw away. That is a lot of money. But he made a bet. He made a bet for $90K. And you got to learn, and you only learn not to run your mouth like that if you lose your bet. And you,
I have a scar on my asshole because I bet someone that you could launch fireworks out of your butt like a Roman candle.
Why do you do those
and
things?
You know what? I was drunk, and I did it. And then they said, oh, yeah? And sure enough, pants went down. I jammed that fucker in there and lit it because I saw it on Jackass. The problem is you need to make sure the Roman candle is facing the right way.
No.
I caught one of those little phosphorus balls, and it burned all the hair on my asshole. And it's otherwise I'm fine. The scream and the jump. I mean, thankfully it didn't smack me on the back of the fucking ball sack. But like, yes,
Did being
I was drunk. I did a thing. I owned up to it, and I have a scar to prove it.
Did being
And
drunk
the occasional waking nightmare.
Did being drunk make your asshole not catch on fire?
It may have played a small part in the numbing effect of it, but the fact of the matter is I had fireworks near my crotch.
Yeah.
Like as near to my crotch as you can be without actually saying I had fireworks in my crotch.
So yeah. Of course, I'm not looking to take away anybody's house, but the man owes me $90K, and we're gonna have to work that out one way or another if he's gonna call himself a man of his word, because I'm not walking away with nothing. That's for damn sure.
May I invite a possible resolution? I think we should come up with some sort of not trial by combat, because we're not the violent types here. No one in a civilized society should just be like, let's have them fight a bear. That's not what we're doing. But what's the grossest thing you can think to eat?
Duty.
A salamander?
Duty.
I guess duty. Well, I guess should we have it be at least mildly sanitary?
I mean,
yes, you can eat anything fried.
We're not doing that. We're collecting on this bet. That's how it's gonna happen. I don't care.
It is your bet as Inquisitor General. I can only suggest things. You want this guy's money? Fuck it. He shouldn't have bet you a goddamn penny.
There will be a transaction. If he is a man of his word, there will be an agreed upon transaction to our business PayPal account, and our company shall grow. That's how that's going to... If he's a man of his word. If he's a man of his word, that entire amount will go into our business PayPal account. Now, maybe he doesn't have that. Well, maybe he shouldn't be making that bet, and some other amount is agreed upon. Maybe that happens. He's still not a man of his word, but an effort was made. And if he doesn't,
he might lose a few dollars, but he'll gain a life lesson.
A big life lesson. Now,
which is cheaper than phosphorus on your asshole.
Well, that's also a life lesson. Now,
for a while, I had 2 buttholes.
Because
I'm a man of my word. Okay,
that's terrifying. Now, if no transaction occurs, then he's not a man of his word, and that's gonna have to stick with him. That's gonna, that's how that works. It sticks with you when you're not a man of your word, and you talk down to people, and you act as if you're the smartest guy in the room when you might just not be. So there's our Inquisition. I think that this stream has established that we have won the bet. Later on, I will update with the figures.
Well, there you go.
We
can look forward. We can look forward to the pitch on Sunday. Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? I think it might have to be Saturday. Let's talk about that off.
A Saturday night free for all.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off air, because we're at the point where my schedule is going crazy, and it's changing by the day. So we will talk about that off air. Guys, do we want to call this the episode since we skipped over all the other stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Space
Saturday
Pope,
night, then.
I think that you need to levy your benediction for the first Inquisition of the Church of the Space Pope.
Let us, ladies and gentlemen, creatures of the nether regions of the cosmos, bow your head in solemn and thoughtful, respective prayer. Nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Spes Pope. If you make bets running your mouth, sometimes they'll bite you on the scrotum. To avoid this, don't run your mouth or buy a cup.
Amen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been No Apologies, episode 20. The quartering owes us how much?
90K.
Could be more. Could be 100. We'll be back with the pitch on probably Saturday night. We'll tweet it out. Space Pope.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you
my
for coming
son.
to the show.
It is always and always will be my extreme pleasure. Hopefully we can do something a little less distasteful than an inquisition. Nothing puts me off my mood than the condemnation of someone for their own sins.
Tommy Anonymous.
It's been fun.
I love having you on, man. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming. Good night.
Have you seen Tommy?
You must be Tommy.
Tom? 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 Tom?
You must be Tommy.
He's a peeping Tom.
You must be Tommy.
So, go on. Can you see him good? So,
Tommy.
So can you just shut up, Tommy?
how am I going to generate that kind of power?
Tom?
You must be Tommy.
Tom?
So can you just shut up, Tommy?